as the days go on, the sky continue to get clearer with their vision, with what they got going on with their franchise. Um, After things being cloudy the last couple of years, they got a sense of direction now. They had two great rookies last year in Camila Cardozo and Angel Reese, and have since built on that a little bit or built around that. They brought in some good talent this offseason. The vet in Ariel Atkins, and you got Courtney Vandersloot coming back to Chicago as well. Um, Really a nice core group there. Kia Nurse has joined the team. Um, Michaela Onyenwere is there again this year. Player that whose game that I like a lot, and someone who has definitely been able to impact um, them directly. Rebecca Allen is another player that should be able to make a great impact on this team as well. They drafted pretty decent. Um, it was nice to see them go after and get Haley Van Lith. Them draft Maddie Westbelt as well, player that we both are fans of. A player that we hope to make an impact on this team because we both believe that she definitely can. Um, After seeing what she did in her collegiate career at Notre Dame, and really just wanting to see how this team has improved because I feel like this team has seen some improvement in their roster with some of the players that they brought in, and ultimately seeing how they compete this year.
Yeah. Um, they moved on from their head coach and Teresa Witherspoon, hired Tyler Marsh, another hire from the Las Vegas Aces assistant pool. Like you said, they signed Courtney Vandersloot. They signed McKinley Onyenwere. They signed Kia Nurse. They traded for Becca Allen. They traded Dane Evans to Las Vegas. They acquired Ariel Atkins, um, bringing in some veterans, some players that play roles and know exactly what they're going to do on both sides of the basketball. Um, they signed Aurelia Garantes, Morgan Birch, Alex Wilson to training camp deals. They drafted Asha Sivka as well with the ninth pick, 10th pick. I think they had 10 and 11 back to back. Maybe I can't remember off the top of my head. Um,
I think they had 10 and 11
but
because I know Haley was their 11th pick.
yeah, um, she's not expected to come over this year. She's prioritizing Eurobasket in her national team as well, which is kind of disappointing considering it's a top pick in the draft and people were expecting to see her. But it
Yeah.
is what it is. We got to roll with the punches. They also drafted Aisha Coulibaly. They signed Sammy Queesis, Tilly Bowler, and Jessica Carter to training camp deals as well. For me, the outlook would be the growth of Camilla over the offseason, the growth of Angel Reese over the offseason. What does their offensive progression look like? I think Camilla's been would be great defensively regardless. Um, I'm curious to see what her offensive repertoire looks like now, a year removed or with some time to really grow her game. And then Angel Reese played in Unrivaled. We've seen her have some of the same what I'm thinking of uh, same awards as she had in the W. High motor as always, always tracking the ball for rebounds and things like that. And continue to get better offensively year after year, even when she was at Maryland, then LSU, and now with the Sky. Um, I think bringing in Courtney Vandersloot and Eric Atkins is huge, as those are players that Courtney Vandersloot is one of the greatest point guards of all time. Is great at getting the ball to her teammates. Ariel Atkins is a super unselfish player, really underrated player as well. Can shoot the ball at a high level, can defend at a high level, doesn't require the ball in her hands to contribute positively. Becca Allen is the same way. Really good shooter, really good defender, great role player. Understands what she needs to do on the court. Same with Kia Nurse. I know a lot of people aren't huge Kia Nurse fans, but she brings a lot to the table in terms of defense and just being a good leader on and off the floor. Her shot can go on and off sometimes, but when you have a player with the kind of mentality that she has, that's a player that you want on your team. Um, I'm also interested to see what Haley Van Lit's role looks like playing behind Courtney Vandersloot. She already talked about during training camp practices how she was just following Courtney Vandersloot around. She said Courtney Vandersloot probably thought she was stalking her. How much she was just like following her around and just watching everything she was doing, whether they were on the court playing against each other, or the other group of 5-on-5 was playing, and she was just watching from the side, which I think is huge. I think it's a really big thing for a young player to realize and to try to utilize. Is I have one of the greatest point guards of all time playing in front of me or playing with me, and I can learn how to play the point guard position in one of the best ways possible. Um, Also, what does Tyler Marsh's first year as a head coach look like? He was a heavy player development guy. He was huge in the development of Jackie Young and Kelsey Plum. Um, I know a lot of people like once he went to Chicago were like, okay, he's gonna help Angel out a lot. He's gonna help Camilla out a lot. So I'm interested to see how that looks. Feel like he gives me kind of the vibes like Kenny Brooks of like player development guy, but he can still be a head coach and still excel. Their strength would be their post players. Obviously, with even with Elizabeth Williams still being there, you still have like I mentioned with Angel and Camilla, and then the point guard play. There's not very many point guards that are better than her still to this day. Shooting is a question mark at this point. I feel like Becca Allen can shoot it, Ariel Atkins can shoot it. Um, Saloot's not a bad shooter, but she's a selective shooter. So that's something that I'm looking for is better shooting on the outside of Angel and Camilla because those are two players that don't really stretch the floor out really far. I've seen Angel hit some threes in training camp a couple days ago, but I don't know if she's gonna be shooting those in the game. And then the weaknesses I would say was experience, especially in the post, like I mentioned before, and then consistency on the wing. I think you know what you're getting from Becca Allen, but after that, who are you comfortable with playing? Like, is Maddie Westbrook going to get minutes, or um, are you going to go with the players that you've seen play, like Michaela Onyenwere or things like that? And Michaela Onyenwere is not a bad player, but she hasn't been consistent over the course of her career. She went from Rookie of the Year to not getting a ton of minutes, and then going to Phoenix, not getting crazy minutes there, but still contributing when she was able to, and now with Chicago. Hopefully, she can build off of past past progressions that she's made over the season. So those are just some of the things that I would look at for their season. I feel like they have the talent to make the playoffs, to make one of those or to fight for one of those last playoff spots. Um, there's some teams that we may feel like are a little bit above them talent wise, but we've seen injuries and things like that derail teams before. We've seen coaching derail teams before. So um, there's no saying just because we have them in this tier that they can't make the playoffs or that we don't think they can make the playoffs. So
Yeah,
that would be my outlook for them.
yeah, same here, man. I think this team could creep their way into the playoffs with some key wins. Um, there were a few games outside of playoffs last year. If I'm not mistaken, they were right
Yeah, they
outside. I
were
know.
they were really close at one point, and then Angel
Yeah,
Reese got hurt, and it kind of
and
dwindled
she
down
shut
after
her
that.
season down. Yeah, so
Yeah,
definitely interested in seeing how how Angel Reese comes back after a full off season. Um, I know there's a lot of controversy when talking about her game and as a player, but I felt like Unrivaled helped her out a lot, being around those pros on a day to day basis and ultimately winning the championship. Um, Not gonna lie, it's not much you can say whenever she continues to perform at that high level. Like you gotta let the winning do the talking there. You can hate all you want, but
right.
I mean she is a winner, and she's a
It's a
winning
fact.
player. She's a player that is improving, wants to improve, wants to be better. Um, so I mean, we've seen videos of her, mid range work, Really want to see how she develops her game because in the pro level, you gotta have. Um, I hate using the term bag here, but you gotta have like a set game. You gotta have you gotta get to your
To
spots. You
have
gotta
go
have a
tos and then
more
counters.
yeah. It- like when you get to that level, it's whenever you like master your craft really, and get to a spot where what's the word I'm looking for? I guess more so not develop, but like not mastered. I guess more complete
Hmm.
because like Angel Reese came into the league with a lot of raw talent, but as she continues to go on in her career, her that talent will be more defined. Um, like once we see Angel in like year 3, 4, 5, she'll be a more polished. I don't know why I can't think of the word polished. She'll be a more polished player as she plays more at the pro level. Um, Mainly because of the skill level there from college to the pros. Like college, she could just use her size to move around and get rebounds and bully her way to scoring. She can't really do that in W. I mean, she learned that and she's adjusted, but that's part of that transition from being a college senior to a WNBA rookie and just a young player in general. We've seen many players transition well and have the games develop over time. So definitely excited for year two, Angel. Definitely excited for year two, Camilla as well. She was tearing it up overseas in, I believe, China. Um,
Hmm.
I think she had, I think it was like a little stint where she was having some problems out there, and so she was like, I'm gonna just play bad. I'm like, they mad at me for this or whatever. I'm just gonna score 2 points next game, and she went on to just score 2 points that game.
That's
But
crazy.
other than that, hell of a player on defense. Just a defensive anchor. Really want to see how her defensive game grows at the pro level in this next season, though. Um, because I mean, in a few years, I can definitely see her being undoubtedly one of the best bigs in this league. Um, just with her defensive skill set at that size and her being a interior force. So vets on this team should make this team fun to watch for a few reasons. Love Becca Allen's game. Kira Nurse is a good shooter. Rachel Banham can get hot at any time. We've seen that just random 30 balls from her, 25 plus game, like just random stretches of where she'll play well. Yeah, ultimately though, hoping that they do have a good season, are able to build from last season. You mentioned in the Sloot and Van Lift connection. I hope. I mean, I feel like that's kind of perfect for Haley Van Lift, like coming into this league
Yeah.
and learning under Sloot. I don't want to say undersized guard, but smaller guard who's been in the league for a while, for a long time, has won championships, and could definitely pass on that knowledge to somebody who is next in line, who I can see having a
Yeah.
bright future in this league.
I agree with that. I think I think this is a big year for Angel. I think she has a good chance of being all WNBA this year. Um, she was All-Star last year. I think she was super competitive last year, or she's been super competitive her whole life. But um, I think the competitive fire that she played with last year shocked some players. I think a lot of players thought like, yeah, she's gonna go get rebounds. She's a little unorthodox. And some players felt away. Like I know there was the thing with BG, there was the thing with Alyssa Thomas, where Alyssa Thomas hit her with the hard foul. Like um, she's a player that can get under players' skin just because she does the dirty work, but she's also a star player. And we don't really see that. Like you don't really see like a Dennis Rodman or Draymond Green type of player be also one of the best players, or not one of the best players on the team, but like be one of the first options offensively. I
Yeah,
think
I'm
that's a
trying
little
to think
different
of
for some players.
who.
And she also she she doesn't do it quietly. Let's just say that
No.
she lets you know, like, hey,
Yup.
I'm busting you up right now. Like
I'm here.
you're getting
Do something
you're
about
getting
it.
outworked, you're getting out hustled, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
keep doing it for the rest
Yeah.
of this game and every time we play each other. And that's what I love about Angel. Angel is never afraid to be herself, is never afraid to put herself out there and say like, hey, I believe in my teammates, I believe in me, I believe in myself, I believe in my work ethic, and you can honestly do nothing but praise it. Obviously, there are gonna be people that don't, but we don't care about them. Um, and I would say the same thing for Camila Cardoso. I think she's improved every single year that she's played basketball, from when she was at Syracuse to when she became, or when she got to South Carolina, her first year last year, her year overseas. Even when we've seen her play for Brazil, um, um, for the America, like she's a dominant presence down low. Like she's a dominant player on both sides of the ball. And if she's able to stay healthy, I think this post duo could make it really hard for teams to contend with them, just because you're gonna have to put so much stock into what they're doing in the paint that you're gonna leave the Ariel Atkins, the Becca Allens, the Kia Nurses, the Sloots, the HVLs open. Um, and if those players are able to knock down their shots, this could be a much better season than people are anticipating for Chicago.
Yeah. I'm thinking ceiling. They'll probably end up ceiling 6 to 8. Floor. They'll probably be back in the same position. Um, I don't see them getting any worse. Outside of anything drastic happening, I don't see them getting any worse. So should be a
Yeah, I
fun year
agree with
from
that.
the Chicago Sky team, man. Like I said, I'm looking forward to year two Angel. Really hope that Maddie Westbrook is able to have an impact on this team, and because I mean I feel like she could help impact any team. This is a good situation I feel in my eyes where she can impact and I don't say not say play right away, but be a part of their future.
I
So
agree.
and she'll have a lot of
She's a player that has played multiple roles, so she
yeah.
knows how to do what the team needs and do what the coach is asking of her, no matter what her role is.
Yeah, and I think she's in a position where she can learn a lot and develop fast in her rookie season. Um, so yeah, definitely a team to watch. The Chicago Sky, man.
Yeah, I
They're
think she's
getting
a
there.
player
They
that Tyler
ain't
Marsh could
quite
really
there yet, but they
build.
getting there. I won't
Yeah,
be surprised in a few years this
yeah,
team is a contender with the core that they have. Well, the young core that they have leading the forefront.
yeah. I mean, again, depending on how this offseason goes, they could be a contender by next year. There are going to be players that'll want to play with the Angel Reese and the Camila Cardoso. So,
Yeah,
um, while we have them here this year and they may surprise us and be like top four, top five, if it happens, congratulations. We will not be in here with sour grapes like, damn, they're supposed to do this, da, da, da. We'll be happy for them, like always.
yeah,
But this season could be completely different from next season because of the off season and CBA and everything like that. So, um, if I'm the Sky fans, I'm going all in on this, not going all in, but focusing on this year, having fun with this team. And then once the off season gets here, that's when you get to fantasy book, fantasy draft in a sense, fantasy sign, and try to bring players to your team. So,
yeah,
um, yeah, I would say they're in that 6 to 8 range as well. And then at worst, they're a lottery team again, but that's not the worst thing in the world. So, um, but I would, if I were to bet, I would bet they make the playoffs.
yeah. So I'm feeling as well. Especially with a team like I think of playoff teams last year. You got Connecticut, who saw a lot of great change. So I don't think they'll really make it. Um, Other teams such as the record point. Um, it's still too early to call it with the Wings and the Sparks. So I mean, That's really who they would be directly competing with in terms of standing. Um, the Wings were a team that didn't make the playoffs last year, um, but they did see some improvement and some changes. Sparks as well. Um, yeah, just really just seeing who or what happens between those kind of teams that they're competing with for that last
Yeah,
playoff position.
yeah, for sure.
Well, whatever happens with the Chicago Sky this season, we'll be tuned in, locked in, providing breakdown of it all here on the Multiplicity Media YouTube channel through the Hoodie and Headband podcast show.
Appreciate y'all.